Hi, welcome back to CyclingPhysio.com. Now, you may have heard of chicken soup for the soul. I'm going to talk about wonton soup for the knee. I'm going to show you a very, very dirty little secret that is going to make a lot of people angry, because there are a lot of people out there who are charging a lot of money for soft tissue release techniques that involve these stainless steel tools usually that are designed to really get in and work deeply on this tissue. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and they are wonderful tools, but they're extremely expensive, and the people who have them, we have to charge a surcharge because usually you have to pay for these ridiculous tools. This is what you can use at home. It is a wonton soup spoon, okay? And this is the best trick I know for chronic irritation like Achilles tendonitis or IT band friction syndrome or even patellar tendonitis, any of those irritations of that thick gristly tissue. So the one I'm going to demonstrate is an IT band friction syndrome, okay, because that's probably the most common. Now, we've talked about roller, we've talked about hip exercises. This is a band-aid cure, but it's a good one. And once you have the irritation, you have to know what to do about it. This is one of the best things you can do. So what you would want to use is like a moisturizer lotion as a little bit of a lubricating layer on the skin. Okay, so I'm going to show you my sexy legs here. And so what we're going to look at is a little bit of moisturizer. Not a ton, okay? Just a little bit. We actually need the friction against the skin, okay? And what we do is we use this tool, put a little bit on the edge, and you can use the round bit. They're great. They're a perfect shape. They've got a little nook in them here as well that you can use to kind of get in there. But if you want to use the most aggressive surface, just come onto that edge there, grab it so it faces kind of from your palm like that, dig your fingers into the spoon, and you get in there and you just work it. And you'll hear this kind of rip, rip, grindy sensation. And you don't need to do much of it. 2 to 3 minutes is going to be a lot, okay? And what you're going to want to get out of this is a really dramatically reddened surface, okay? And it should look about the same color as a nice medium rare to rare steak. Okay? And what that's going to be is a dramatic increase in the circulation, not just to the skin, but to the tissue just beneath the skin. And in cases like Achilles tendonitis and IT bands, what's right underneath the skin is the tissue that we're after. So you can see there's a red area there. And you might even get a little bit of bruising if the tissue is really irritated, because it seems like the more irritated the tissue is, the more it kind of feels bumpy and gravelly under there. And so it's almost like tracing a leaf. You'll see a little outline in a bruise as to where the irritated tissue is. And it's pretty neat. The longer you do this, as in the more consecutive times you do it, the smoother the tissue gets, and your pain seems to miraculously go away. Now, one of the neat spots to get at is just above the lumpy bone of the lateral femoral condyle, and just between this other little bit of a bump here above the kneecap, there's this sort of zone in here, and this is probably the #1 area where people complain of pain with the IT band. So you can come down in there. Now, there's no muscle tissue in there anymore. It's all just gristle and fascia. And so to work it with needles or stretches or even the foam roller just doesn't work. So what are we left with? Well, this works perfectly. It's really, really effective. And it can take you from being hardly able to bike at all to being able to ride just fine within like a week. All right? So again, you want to work it for 45 seconds to a minute, sometimes longer. You don't want to bruise yourself too much, but again, I've got a nice sort of reddened area in through there. That's all I need to do. I've increased the circulation. The blood flow will do the rest, okay? So, go out to Chinatown and get yourself a nice China plastic, or not plastic, a China soup spoon, okay? The plastic ones tend to have a little ridge around there, and it's way too uncomfortable. It rips the skin, it's horrible. These, I mean, this is like $2, really. Any more than that, and you're paying too much. And they will work perfectly.